right on out up to the morning. As long as we make the show, we can be the best or we can be the worst. We can be the best like you ever heard. With the motor singing and the grandstands ringing, it's hard to put it all in words. But this is how we ride, this is how we do. Riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove. Don't give a damn about the cash we're spending. With the time we got, we choose to play it on the go, to stay out on the run. We all high, wild, and handsome. Ain't telling you what's right or wrong or what to choose. Hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. Out on the dirt ovals we play, life in the bright lights with no shades. Letting her go, letting her rip, letting her fly, tossing her in sideways, living the life, letting her ride, eyesight winning to die. Cross her up on the cushion, crossing the line, caught some drama and some bullshit they didn't like, and if they don't like the mood, then we're ready to fly. But this is how we ride, this is how we do. Riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here watching the Port Royal. Oh, I was trying to move the damn camera up. Maybe my hair being out of frame. I wanted the lip of the hair to be up there. Oh, come on. There it is. Oh, no. A little lower. I don't know. Is that a good angle? I always seem to be... there we go. I mean, no, I don't know. Maybe... Let me be. It's hard to be center camera when you got this going on. I mean, look at it. Just look at it. I do like the little copper tone, literally at the root, the root of it all, the root of all problems. What is the root of all problems, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it comes down to money most of the time. So you're telling me it's the money? Surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who's in here, who's even stopping in to watch. We are going to have some live callers tonight. We're going to be reacting to the situation, which currently is underway. This is a very long race, obviously. Chase Randall currently leading the event. Sure, I mean, in the 29 car, 12, Frankenstein car, it's a 29 wing, a 12 car. Running in second, currently, Brett Marks in third, Brian Brown fourth, Rico Abreu fifth. What I did not say in there was a World of Outlaw driver or Kyle Larson. PA, along with Texas, I guess PA mixed with Knoxville and Chase Randall and Brian Brown, Brett Marks and Brent Schaar. As well as California Rico Abreu, they're just smacking the Outlaws around tonight. At least the ones who have chosen to run. Not all of them, obviously. Gravel's not running, but Macedo is. Shots is. Kane is as well. I thought I would have saw a little bit more. A Schuhart is out there. Baston is out there. Tanner Holmes did run. Currently, Macedo is 6th, 8th is Larson, 9th is Kofoid, who I thought Kofoid had an extremely strong car in his heat race to be able to track down Brian Brown, who was leading. He did not pass for the lead, but he did run him down, and Brian Brown had the clean air, so that was pretty impressive to see him actually do that. Let's see. Chaz is live. Somebody said, wow. Let's see. Yeah, we're probably going to have a little bit of a live later or tonight. Bunch of people saying, where are you at? What are you doing? We want to hear you talk, blah, blah, blah. So why not? Let's see what we can do. But I am going to be watching the race. So if I just sit here and I'm quiet for a little bit, that's more than likely what is happening. So... I obviously football is tonight as well. I've already won $300 in bets off of the NFL. So thank you. I should actually put a link in the description for a referral. Because I'll tell you what, we definitely have made a decent wage on Sunday and Monday and today. I'm not going to brag about it, but if we didn't do some things, hey, we may not be surviving today. The football game's actually pretty close. Washington, Chicago. Chicago was up so much that the bet situation I had counted them as a win since they went up over 17 points. But Washington has come back. So Washington is back up to, it's a 30-20 split currently. Caution is out. That's why I switched over to talking about football for a second. The caution is out. Looks like an issue. Smith Titanium on the front wing. Not sure who that is just yet. I was, like I said, looking at another screen. Oh, TJ Stutz in the pitting area. Let's see if the chat has, nope, chat has not kicked up too much just yet. Somebody says Brent Marks is going to win. I don't know, guys. Y'all could say Brent Marks this, Brent Marks that. It does get a little different when you get into this Tusky 50. I've seen a lot of guys besides Brent Marks do some damage. I will say, we are having a few mixy drinkies tonight. And it's a local distillery that we attended. I was talking about the other day, but if you could see the proof there, I thought it was autofocus. But the percentage is high of the above number, and the proof is the below number. So this is 120 proof whiskey here that we are mixing with caffeine-free Diet Coke. You know, caffeine is a deadly, addictive substance that is, you know, you want to stay away from. Just saying. It is an addictive substance. So you barely put any of the whiskey in the cup at 120 proof. It kind of just gives it that spice. You know, you're just looking for the spice of the situation. Let's see here. What are we doing? They just went to commercial on football. And that's something funny. Commercials on football. How about that? That's something I did want to point out. If you want to know how popular our sport is. Oh, we just, one of our deals just went dead. Hold on. This is my little, Bluetooth earpiece. It helps me be able to call people and hear them. I believe we're back on track with it. Yep. And one of the buds just died, which has been off all day. It's a really nice set. Yes. We're trying to get some post-race callers. All right. So Tuscarora is back to green. Brent Marks, as I was just saying, he may not have a chance at it, did just take the lead. But don't just give it to him yet, guys. Yellow flag did just come out onto the speedway. Casey Kane is off the pace. So, I would show the not the race on the screen, but the race monitor, but it seems like race monitor is experiencing some issues. But before we get too far, something I did want to say was look at the commercials of football. Look at the commercials of regular sports. You know, regular sports in their commercials. You know, that tells you how irrelevant dirt racing is. The commercials on Flow and the commercials on Dirt Vision. More so on Flow, or more so on Dirt. I mean, they're guilty of it, both of them. Who's more or less is a whole nother discussion. But at the end of the day, the products being promoted on these commercials are not geared towards regular people. Sometimes Flow will sprinkle in some, you know, mainstream things. But pretty much every commercial you see on these streaming networks are TJ Forge wheels or Smith Titanium or chassis or coaches, Capital race car coaches or whatever. You know, so they're selling to racers. The industry is making money on racers. Now, there's people making money on people. Obviously, they got you to buy the streaming. They want you to buy a ticket into the gate. But that tells me that most of the people watching are going to rewatch are racers. And that's who they're selling to. They're not selling the sponsorships who want to market to regular people to make money aren't doing it in dirt racing. The advertisers in dirt racing are going after those with money. Now, this could be considered a classism angle as well. But in the classism of the racing world, the money is located in the pitting area. It ain't in the front gate. It ain't in the front gate. Pretty sad, pretty interesting how they go after that angle of, and it's something I noticed the other day, you know, all these other sports, when they got commercials on, you don't see, you know, the maker of the pads of football, you know, putting in a commercial during the NFL, trying to sell the players something. That would blow your mind. You don't see the bat manufacturers, you know, or whatever at baseball, or, you know, Wilson basketballs for sale. Come get you one. I mean, I'm just saying. There ain't no helmet manufacturers or mouthpiece guys on there selling that shit. So it's just, I noticed that the other day, and it got me thinking, what the hell are they actually doing? Well, it makes sense. They ain't selling to the fans because there ain't none. There ain't enough of them, at least, to sell a consumer item. But there's enough of them racers to sell a consumer item with the money. There's enough money out there to do something. Enough money. So you're telling me it's about the money, Chaz. But anyways, the yellow flag is out. They did not count the pass on Chase Randall by Brent Marks. So Brent Marks now has been put back to the second position on the speedway. Chase Randall reassumes the lead. So that's very interesting. We are going to have some live callers. I know I've said this a few times, but we're going to try to get it up there and get it done right. I am working on a graphic right now, technically, that is needed to be able to have the live callers. I see no Borden. Why is Jordan a Borden hater? I don't get why Jordan is a Borden hater. Then we got Jonathan's degenerate brother, Jimmy Davenport, in here. Where's Larson and Rico? Well, why don't you just stay worrying about you and your brother, worrying about Ricky Thornton Jr.? Why don't y'all just care about that shit? You know, look at Jimmy up here. Jimmy, this is Jonathan Davenport's brother, by the way. He may try to backtrack now. But Jimmy Davenport over here trying to be some kind of cool guy. Look at him. Where's Larson and Rico? Well, Larson and Rico, I'm just playing. Larson and Rico are not running well right now. On a scale of 1... Oh, we got some comments. Hold on. On a scale of 1 to pineapple, what number is your favorite color? That sentence right there says he is definitely a Kyle Larson fan. That's the sheep that runs off the side of the mountain, that guy right there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bud. But it is pretty sad that Devin Borden puts it on its lid. It is pretty sad. Freaking Borden, man. Always on the edge, and that was a hard one. Oh, man. Do I do it? Or can I do it? Oh, no. Hold on. Let's see. Can we? Oh, no. I'm definitely going to jail now. They got me, guys. They got me. I was trying to see it for myself. This is technically a felony. they're gonna send me the charges in the mail. Although this is a replay, this is not live streaming. But I did just want to see this wreck right here. Yeah, that's pretty bad up in the fence. Man, that's unfortunate for Devin. 50 lapper. The more uncertain or sad part about that is I've heard that there's a lot of verbal abuse occurring in the 23 pitting area. Obviously we are in a man macho sport where there's harsh coaches and stuff like that. But from my understanding, there are some lines being crossed in the 23 pitting area by some people involved. And that's who we need to be worried about in this situation is the mental health of Devin Borden after making a mistake on the racetrack and potentially having to go face more mental abuse from those within the 23 car organization. That's just, I'm going to say it and leave it right there. Not naming names, not saying this or anything like that. I get it. Devin Borden gets a lot of abuse from PA fans. But at the same time, this is not fans that I'm talking about. These are people involved indirectly. And from my understanding, he definitely gets the short end of the stick when it comes to pats on the back. That's the nicest way to say it. Let me get this graphic going. I want to get this live caller graphic up with the correct number. See, my issue's been is that I use a program to get people to call in. And then the issue ends up being that I don't use it all the time. So when I don't use it, it's so docile for a certain period that it will actually reset the number that I selected, because you select like a dummy number and they give you one, and that's who people call you or what people call you with. Or that's the number y'all would technically end up calling. And since I haven't used it in a long time or in a while, it has reset the number to a different number. So I got to go in here and change, because I know there's always been that graphic that says call in live or whatever, live chat, and it has a number on it. It just always changes. So I'm trying to update the graphic with the current number that it is assigned to. Let's see. And then we can get some callers in here. I'm just tired of talking to myself on here, guys, so I'm really not going to be doing too many just me talking videos. If somebody wants to come on here and yell or cuss at me, any of the above, I am down for that plan. Let's get it on. But I'm not just going to sit here and bitch for 20 minutes. At least not all the time. There'll be some times when it's needed. But there'll be some times that it ain't or isn't needed. Let's see here. All right. Wow. Yeah, this computer is giving me some issues, kind of. Huh. Interesting. How did that just happen? Okay. Hold on. Almost done, guys. I don't know what's happened over here on the race side of things. I'm assuming that 25 lap break's coming up here very soon. Look at this Jimmy Davenport guy. So cocky and arrogant. Unbelievable. All right, so the color graphic, we got to get this thing fixed. And this is the number to call in. Is it? Nope. Hold on. I think this is it. Nope, it's not it. Hold on, we still got something to fix. All right. Think we fixed her up. All right. Bam, bam, bam. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is the phone number to call. You can call right now as we're watching this race. It is back to green. Brent Marks is officially the leader. I liked Buddy Kofoid earlier in the night. They're showing him on the screen now. Dice it up through the field. I thought he showed it like a big time speed. I almost wanted to pick him before, or right after the heat race, because I thought he was just that strong. Definitely the shock of the race is this Brent Schaar. I mean, I've watched him race a lot there and never seen him do extremely well. This is like the run of his life. He no disrespect, but he's usually a back marker B main guy, and he's up here running in the top 5. But, once again, the benefit of clean air. Did anybody else see the front ends coming off the ground earlier in the night when dirty air was a factor? I mean, Macri was just putting it in the air. If anybody wants to send a super chat or become a member of the channel, it would be greatly appreciated, you assholes. No one's playing. So we are green. We're at lap 27:26 to go. I believe there's a halfway break. Last time I was there was. I don't know if they took a red flag as I was looking at everything else. Trying to get this graphic up here for the live calls. Oh, we just missed a call. I'm sorry about that. We just missed a call. I'm going to call it back. 317 number here. Oh, looks like calling's not available right now, so I'll have to fix that. Rico Abreu on the move. And it looks like that halfway call has just been made. And now we're going to call. Or we got us a caller calling in right now. Hopefully it answers. Okay. I think it answered. Do we have an answer here?
Yes, sir.
Who is this with the horrible cell connection?
You there?
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching you on live on Facebook. Are you still there?
It's YouTube, but I'm here, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I appreciate you helping me with my daughter, man, a couple of years ago. That meant a lot. I appreciate it.
I have a feeling I know who this is. Because it sounds familiar.
Yeah, my daughter was sick a couple of years ago, and you did a video for her. I really appreciate that, man.
Oh, yeah. Did that work out? Did you get anything or any help from it? It was something where you need to raise money, right?
Yeah, it helped me out a ton, man. I was spending a lot of time in the hospital with my daughter, like 4 or 5 days in a row, and then I go out and I bust my ass and work, and so yeah, it helped me out. Aaron Reitzel reached out and helped me out a ton, man. So I appreciate you putting the word out for me. My daughter passed away, but I'm trying to keep her memory alive. So I appreciate you, man.
So did Aaron Reitzel say he heard about it through me or something, or?
Yeah, yep, he sure did. Actually, his wife contacted me, and at the time, man, I had been in the hospital with my daughter for like a week, and things were getting tough, and she sent me like $300 or something, and it helped a ton at the time, man. And so yeah, I appreciate you putting out that video.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it made an impact. I mean, Well, like you said, it was a few years ago. I hadn't heard about it or how it helped out or not, or if it did or didn't. So to know that something I did actually helped, um, that's good. That's kind of what I like doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to do sometimes, though.
Yeah, my daughter was a total badass, man. I took her to every, she was paralyzed basically. She had Tay-Sachs, but I took her to every racetrack around here, from Kokomo to Terre Haute to see the World of Outlaws and you name it, to see Indy cars practice. And I mean, I took her all over the place. But anyway, man, I just wanted to reach out and tell you thank you. I've been trying to put a sprint car together for the last couple of years, and honestly, I don't have the money. I ran a couple times, but I'm going drag racing, man. It is what it is. I don't have the money to put together a decent 410. I'm not going to be a mid-pack runner, so I'm kind of, decided to put together a drag car. But I just want to tell you I appreciate you, man.
Well, it is pretty easy to put a drag car together in comparison to 410 sprint cars. I mean, drag racing, you can get out onto the track with taking a regular car and just doing a few things to it. You can be a part of what you're watching.
Well, look at a guy like, Clay Milliken. He was in his 30s, working at Kroger, driving a forklift, and he got sponsorship and went drag racing. I mean, my heart will always be with sprint car racing, but my last name is not Abreu. I don't have millions of dollars, and it is what it is. So
yeah, don't matter how good you are. It's who you are and how much money you got. It's a sad truth.
Exactly.
And now, I was trying to make the changes even back then. To maybe get the little guys some exposure. I guess I helped you expose that situation enough to help you immediately. But after all these 3-4 years, the sad part about it is, even those that are in the sport that I would be trying to help, they don't even want to help themselves. They don't even want it to change. They'd rather like I said, they'd rather go to lunch with Kyle Larson than beat him. Well, that ain't going to make the change. That's just going to keep it how it is, because that's celebrating, the monarchy. That's celebrating the nepotism. That's if you celebrate that stuff, it's going to flourish.
Yeah, man, I made a comment a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago, on a video, but guys can disagree with me. I really don't give a shit. But back in the 90s, Kyle Larson could not compete with Steve Kinzer and Doug Wolfgang and Sammy Swindell. It's a fact. The more horsepower a sprint car has, the easier it is to drive. And, back in the day, you would have to you would actually have to get out of the throttle halfway down the straightaway and think about getting into turn one. And there were guys that you could drive, 10 feet deeper in the corner than another guy next to you. And it was all about driver ability. It was about driving the car and feeling the suspension. And nowadays, they're like slot cars, and whoever has the best mechanic and the most money, that's who wins the race. And it's sad, it's taken it out of the driver's hands and it's put it into the hands of, the mechanic and how much money you got.
Well, I have been pretty high on late model racing. I don't think I think you can still race your way to stardom in late models. You can't race your way to stardom in sprint cars, because the star of sprint car racers is never a sprint car racer. It's a Code Trickle. That's the icon of our sport. So you could still race to be a late model star, but the mechanical side of late models is 2 or 3 levels higher in importance than it is, I think, in the sprint car department. But the one thing about those guys over there is that the driver's the mechanic too. They weren't bred. Their icon wasn't sitting in a bar saying, "Just put me in the car I could drive." I'm just a driver. That back to the who, the Code Trickle effect. But ever since that happened with the Jeff Gordon saga of little kids, well, kids don't work on race cars. Kids don't set up cars. Adults do, and that's how the crew chief do. And obviously Carl Kinzer was big, but Sammy did it on his own. You know, a lot of these drivers were knowledgeable of the race cars back then. I just don't know, especially at least in comparison to the late model side. The late model world is, you can still be a star, but as far as the need for mechanical horsepower, mechanical advantages, setting up the car, it's just as important, probably more important over there. But the thing is, the drivers actually are doing a bunch of the work. We actually have Kyle Larson putting a patch on the wing. The wing was still dimpling going around the racetrack. I don't know if something hit the wing. We're just going to do a real quick look over. Where this wing was bending, they're actually putting a patch. So maybe that wing was bending a little bit too much. I think as long as we're under 15 seconds, we're good. But there's some shystiness around that 57 car sometimes, I'm telling you. I mean, that wing was encased last night at Bridgeport. It was caved in certain areas. It was caved in tonight in certain areas on the track. And some people say that you could manipulate that, just like the NASCAR had their issue with the backs of the windows because of the aero effect that could have on the car, the advantages of how these cars cut through the wind. And, I mean, luckily, I guess for the fairness of the situation, they're putting a patch on it. I don't know if that's because somebody said you had to or if something hit it and finally busted through and put a hole in it. But not the same subject I know that we were talking about. But, yeah, it's just hard to keep praying for somebody or hoping for somebody or trying to make changes in a sport that really doesn't want to change at all. So.
Yeah, you may not like me for what I'm about to say, but I'm not a late model guy at all. Just for the fact that I mean, you could run in the corner and lay over on the right side of the car, just make the car lean over, and they're almost lazy. You can't do that with a sprint car. You got to be on edge, on your toes. You let the suspension lay over on a sprint car, you're going to be over the fence.
Right.
So I'm not a late model guy, but as far as sprint cars, what I think needs to happen is, and I talked to Doug Wolfgang about this 15 years ago before I came to Indiana, but the sidewalls of the tires are basically, they've changed. It's not necessarily the compound and the softness of the tire, but it's the sidewall. They're so soft now, they're like drag tires. They wrinkle up. Years ago, they were hard. They were actually drag tires. And nowadays, you could run in the corner and let that baby just wrinkle up, and it changes the way you dial in your shocks, and it changes the way that, the chassis are built. They're just a completely different car than what they used to be. And I think 90% of it is just the tires, just the sidewall of the tire. It's come so far these days that it's, I think they need to come out with a tire that's, the sidewall is a hard tire, almost closer to a street tire or like a drag tire. And I think that would put the racing back in the hands of the driver.
Well, I know that they upped the ante on the stiffness of the sidewall, but I'm not sure in how many ways. Not sure on that. I know that the sidewall was something they wanted to keep a little harder to break traction. So, but anyways,
yeah, compared to what they used to be years ago, it's a whole different game. But
anyways, I guess thanks for calling. We can let you go now, but that's cool. What was your name again? It's slipping my damn mind.
My name's Daniel Sibley.
Are you the guy who yelled at Kyle in the pitting area that one time?
That was me, man. Hey, I was drinking. It is what it is.
No, hold on. So you were drunk, right?
Yeah.
What track was this? Because it was on video. Somebody caught it on video. It was during a Flow interview, right? Or somebody's interview.
That was actually the Hoosier 100, man. It was a bad day. Let me tell you a story, man. When I was a little kid, in 1991, I watched Gary Bittenhausen flip all the way down the straightaway at the Sacramento Mile in California it's been a dream of mine to run a Silver Crown car on the mile my whole life. I mean, I've dedicated my life to racing, and I moved to Indiana 13 years ago, and I'm on the sidelines watching. You know, you look at a guy like Justin Grant. Originally went to Jeff Walker's shop to work on his cars and do the grunt work, but I didn't have the money. And then Justin Grant comes in and has a paycheck. I don't. So he bought his way into that deal. I'm frustrated, you know, so I'm at the Hoosier 100. I'm supposed to be in that fucking race. I'm frustrated. I've put my dues in. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just some drunk guy out there, but you know, I saved every penny I have to get out to Indiana, and you know, I rented a car. I rented a coilover car out of all cars to go run, and you know, I ran very good. It's a money deal for me, and I'm struggling with the death of my daughter, and I'm dealing with a lot of depression. So yep, it is what it is. Guys can think what they want about me, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. I was trying to find that video where you said that. I can't find it though. I can't find it. You have it saved somewhere?
Oh, I think I screen recorded it or something. Somebody sent it to me, but that shit, I mean, I could care less about that. I mean,
it was good though. It was like I'd whoop your ass or something like that. It was good. In looking for it, I was trying to look for it, Hoosier 100. I did run across, look at this, guys. Look at this video here that I found. Dirt Tracker. What? Sorry?
I grew up racing with AJ Allmendinger in California every week doing go-karts, and Bernie Lamar and Joey Hand and Scott Speed, and I'm not just some like idiot in the stands. I can drive a goddamn race car, you know. It's just I came out here with everything but the money. So it's been a frustrating deal for me, but so I'm not just like some drunk guy in the stands, you know. It is what it is. But
right, I understand. Sorry, I was just getting side distracted trying to find the interview. I'm listening to you. I believe you. But I'm looking at this. It came up 3 years ago. This was like Dirt Tracker's. I don't know if you know who Dirt Tracker is. He's one of the popular guys on YouTube. If I'd have been doing this stuff 3 years ago, I'd probably be where he's at. But I've only really been doing YouTube for about a year and a half. Because my stuff was on Facebook, like you said. You know, you saw my shit on Facebook, and then they took 20,000 from me. But this video 3 years ago. Look at, everybody wants to be a YouTube guy. You know, apparently they think it's just easy. But you're looking at this video here. Look at the view count on this video from Dirt Tracker 3 years ago. Still to this day, 185 views. 185, guys. Views. That's crazy. Look at the production where this guys came from. It don't just happen overnight, you know. This stuff takes work. You know, that's crazy. Funny to find that when I'm trying to find you, you know, basically cussing out Kyle Larson, because I thought it was funny.
Well, hey, man, I'm going to tell you what my goal is now. I mean, I would love to jump in a 410 and go race, but I'm realizing I'm 42 years old. You know, I don't have the money.
Right.
My goal now is I'm putting together a dragster, and I want to go to – there's a class called True Street, you know, where basically you got to drive 50 miles before you go drag race. So I want to go to a hospital. I want to get together with 10 or 15 guys that all sign up ahead of time. We go to the hospital. We pick up a special needs kid. You know, we got to have 2 seats in the car, you know, but we put them in the, you know, put a special needs kid in the car. And this ain't going to be like some street car. It's going to be a nasty, you know, 900 horsepower, you know, low geared, big block, you know, and we take them to breakfast, and then we take them to the races, and, we get to do a special, you know, we get to kind of almost like a Make-A-Wish type thing, and then we get to go racing. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and I'm putting together a Camaro to make that happen. And I have not forgotten about sprint car racing, man. If I hit the lottery or something happens, I'll be racing sprint cars. But for now, that's kind of what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, they are back under the green flag, and I do want to thank you for calling in, and hopefully you'll stay in the chat.
All right, boss.
All righty, man. Thanks a lot for the call there, Brian. Or Daniel, sorry.
All right, thank you.
Almost messed his name up. Daniel. Yeah, that's cool to hear about that. We are green. Once again. Oh, Brett Mark's almost into the fence. Apparently, they resurfaced the track, put new clay down here recently. So that's why we don't have a on-the-fence Port Royal, which is somewhat unfortunate. Just past the 20 lap to go mark, on to 18 to go. Marks, Randall, Brown, Abreu, Schaar, and make that Kofoid your top 5 getting around Schaar on the outside of 4. What's everybody's thoughts on the announcer at Port Royal? We have a caller. Somebody.
It's Chaz, what's going on, buddy?
Oh no, he found us. We were trying to dodge him.
It's not Jimmy the Big Balls Davenport. I'm sorry.
It's not Jimmy Davenport.
No. He was too scared to call in.
Are you watching this?
I'm watching this. I'm.
Oh my God! Brett Marks just spun out. Oh my God!
Oh no!
Literally.
He just pulled the Buddy Kofoid.
Oh my God! I don't know when Kofoid did that, but wow. When did Buddy Kofoid do this?
2 nights ago when he crashed trying to dive for the lead.
Well, that was a different size track.
Yeah, I know that, but why Brent Marks just threw away the freaking win?
How did this just happen?
Why?
Who is he going to the inside on here? Who was this?
On a lapper.
Who was
that? A lapper.
Is that TJ Stutz?
Oh my God. There was no room.
Oh my God. Wow, dude. Wow, that just changed everything.
He's ripping the lip in 1 and 2. And then
wow.
Oh,
yeah, the lap car came down.
Gonna come down like that. Yeah.
Who is that? Is that TJ Stutz?
It might be.
Oh, this is where Joe has a point. If you pull off the track during the race, this whole working in the area, work area bull crap should be done, because when you pull off the track, you're just done. There is no fixing and getting back out there in a 2-minute segment in pit lane, because freaking TJ Stutz went to the pits earlier in an incident or something like that, and he should have been it should have been race over.
Yeah.
Although I appreciate him mixing it up. I like it. I'm just kidding, but I like that he just changed the whole entire race.
All right. So is Rico going to win?
I got Kofoid.
Is Buddy going to win?
I think Kofoid. That car was too strong in the heat. I can't believe he is where he is right now.
You got Brownie. Brownie's going to throw it in there. Brownie's got the Trojan
car.
horse.
Is Chase Randall
gonna
surprise PA in his first ever trip to Port Royal?
I don't think so. No way.
The fix would definitely be
There's too much experience behind him.
Well, I mean, hell, he's led over half the race, hasn't he? Or close to half the race.
Yeah, of course he has. Yeah. He's led half the race, for sure. But then you got the 41 car there too, eh? There's Kyle Larson. Woo. What do you think? What are the chances of the stars aligning and Kyle Larson gets the W?
I don't think that's gonna happen with his tampon on his wing. What's up with that?
Paul Silva put a plug in the tire.
They put a
You didn't see
tampon
that?
on it. He put a plug in the
They put
tire.
a tampon
He's
on
known
the
to doing
wing,
that.
and then he put a plug in the tire.
He's known for doing that, you know. Somebody said that was Natalie down there
Oh.
putting the plug in. Wow.
No, that was Paul Silva.
I think that was a sexist joke.
There you go.
So this show, for the record, something that somebody should pay attention to. This entire race is closing in on the 5.5 hour mark. That's a pretty long time at the racetrack.
Rico's out.
I'm gonna have to mute you because you're ahead of me now. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Okay, go ahead, mute me. Rico's out.
Wow. They all heard that Larson needs help.
There you go. Because he's gonna throw the high limits championship, right, for Rico,
Yeah, this is the
where
payback.
he can win the $30,000.
Oh, we know Rico don't need the money. What happened there on Rico? They got the replay up right now. What?
The
Just-
left rear smoking. Did he blow a rear end?
It's coming from the left rear, but that could be coming out of the headers.
It could be.
Yeah, that's what it looks. It looks like an actual mechanical issue to me.
Yeah. Either motor or rear end.
I think Chase Randall's going to win this race.
No, not possible. But
The fix is in because that was the one picture today that just didn't make sense, and I think that was God trying to tell me, "Are you blind? Can you not see the forest before the trees?" They're trying to build this Chase Randall guy up. He's at Knoxville all the time. He's here, there, he's everywhere. He's in the Paul Silva 57. They're trying to promote this guy. They're trying to put him out there. I mean, look at this
chicken
print,
kid?
guys. Look at this print. I got the image on the screen. They did this "Who's Gonna Be Here Today" deal, and they did all these images of the drivers. These all look cool. But then for some reason earlier today, that's the only Chase Randall image you can give me. And it's so blurry.
Are you watching this, Chaz? Are you watching this? Are you watching this?
Oh, shut
Are
up.
you watching this?
I'm watching it now. Oh,
I'm not saying anything. Oh.
I said Kofoid. Don't tell me.
Oh my. This is.
He definitely disposed of Brown.
Come on.
Don't tell me. So, all right. Call in after the race is over. Bye, Nick. All right, we got him off the screen. All right, we're watching this. Is the fix in? Oh, here comes Larson's ass. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Kyle cannot win this race. The JVI team cannot win this race, which JVI is on Larson and Rico's car now, guys. So the corporate symbolism. Oh, my God. 10 to go. Come on, Kofoid. Go get Randall. We got the fix cannot be in. Although, have I been manipulated into cheering for Toyota, the Japanese? Am I being manipulated? I need some more 120 proof whiskey. Organic, guys. Organic 120 proof. From the Rock Filter Distillery Organic Black Hammer Bourbon. Smoked. Literally smoked. Oh, God. I don't know who I want to win this. But Chase Randall is looking strong, guys. God was trying to tell me earlier today. I noticed in our pregame show that the image was blurry. And I didn't know why I pointed it out, but that was God saying, are you blind? I'm trying to tell you who's going to win tonight. Oh my God, the symbolism. I need to start listening to the great one. I just need to get into race prediction. Oh, somebody's off the pace. It looks like they did not make it off the track. I believe we are going to get a yellow. Yellow is out. And it is Buddy. Is that Buddy Kofoid? It is Buddy Ko. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got to start texting this guy. It is gonna. Oh, there. Larson is there now. No. No. Anybody but Larson. I have to make that shirt. I have to make that shirt. Caitlin may sue me. I don't give a damn. I want a anybody but Larson shirt. Either they. I just said it. That's my new phrase. Anybody but Larson. I'm talking about Adam Larson or one of the millions of other Larsons that are in the world. I ain't talking about Kyle. Sue me. But anyway, we are green, and it is Randall, Brown, Larson, and Brown is throwing the slider on Randall. Randall didn't quit. Randall stayed in it. Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, shit. And here comes Larson. No. Brown's in the lead. Come on, Brown. I can't believe I'm pulling for Brian Brown now. Oh, my God. Carson Macedo's in fourth. Hurry up. Come on. I know. Unfortunately, I know that Kyle's a better driver than Brian. Damn it. And earlier on the phone, I called Daniel Brian instead of Daniel. Oh, my. Too many mixed signals right now. It's probably because I put Lucifer's liquid into me. Oh, fuck. 5 to go, guys. Brian Brown's looking good. It looks like he's going to hold off the tampon-patched wing of Kyle Larson. And Brian Brown's good on these big tracks. I think he can hold him off. Three to go. Coming to 2 to go. Brian Brown has about 12 car lengths on Larson, and he isn't making any mistakes. Just crossed the stripe at 2. Coming up a turn 2 down the back straightaway for Brian Brown. Coming around for the white flag. Come on, Casey's General Store, these nuts. Oh, he made a mistake. Larson's coming. Oh, God. Okay. Those tires better stay up. I bet Darren Harrell is so pissed off and happy at the same time. And Brian Brown wins the Tuscarora 50. Wow. Wow, guys. Brian Brown, $60,000 richer. Chase Randall did not lay back, though. He did what he could. I didn't think there was any other way Randall could have handled that. Maybe entered the corner a little better to get off of it and down the back straight, but that's all hearsay. Brown was there. He stuck in it. He stuck with it right up on the wall, but fell back, finished third. Second, Kyle Larson. And your winner, Brian Brown. Fourth, Schaar. Fifth, Macedo. Sixth, Madsen. Seventh, Macri. Eighth, Wise. Ninth, Schuhart. And 10th is Tyler Courtney. I know that Anthony Macri for sure came from the B main. I'm curious to see if he's your hard charger of the event. My biggest takeaway tonight was how bad the Outlaws were beaten. All night long, the Outlaws were beaten. 3 of them in the top 15. And I think only 3 in the A main. 4 if you count Casey Kane. I do not believe Casey Kane counts, though. So 3 World of Outlaw drivers in the main event. Shots did not make it. A few others didn't make it either. Can't get it right off the top of my head. Tanner Holmes did not make it. So the Outlaw is having a little bit of an issue trying to keep up with the PA Posse, Knoxville, because the one advantage to this race being where it is right now is the Knoxville guys got to go over there. And, of course, some of the Outlaw guys involved. But PA Posse strong. Knoxville is cheering. I mean, the Knoxville Raceway and their fans, the people who have labeled Brian Brown a homer. He can't win anywhere else but Knoxville, especially when it comes to marquee events. And now adds a Tuscarora 50 to the resume, a 60K victory. Obviously, the bad luck for Marks and Kofoid could be blamed for why Brian Brown's in this position, but everybody has bad luck. There's been nights Brian Brown was supposed to win a race and had something go south or had this happen or that happen. So he still had to hang off on Larson. He still had to drive by Randall, someone who led a lot of laps. And he gets it done, rolls into victory lane, climbing out of the car. Man, Darren Harrell has to be throwing things at the TV right now. Unbelievable. This is pretty crazy. Tuscarora 50, and he's going up with the helmet on. It looks like he left the helmet on. He's got the helmet on. I like that. I like that by Brian Brown, leaving the helmet on going up on top of the car. And then he does the Chief symbol because he's a Kansas City Chief fan. And we started the day talking about Travis Kelce. Okay. Of course, you see Chad Morgan down there. This is crazy, guys. The last segment of that race is insane. Somebody said, I think this is Brian Brown's biggest payday of his career. Wow. Wow. Well, the lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to call in, talk about this crazy ending to the Tuscarora 50. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. That is pretty crazy, guys. I'm saying that is pretty crazy. Wow. So as far as PA goes, Brown has won at Selinsgrove and now Port Royal, I believe. Lincoln, Williams Grove, and Baps. Wonder which one of these tracks he could win at next here in PA. Opportunities are off the table, I believe, for Williams Grove and Lincoln now, correct? And the only one remaining would be Baps, I think. I believe Baps would be the only one with the sustainable 410 event, and I believe that's in November. I believe that's in November. I'm still a little happy, guys, because I pulled these cards. I did this whole card pulling deal earlier today. And I pulled this card, which this is a, they call it a tie-dye. And this is a Kenny Pickett. Kind of see the colors there. And this is actually a decently valued card. So I bought this box. It's like $100. I'm like, I'm going to try these $100 boxes. This is a 1 of 25. I don't know if you can see the lettering right there, but it says number 12 of 25. So only 25 of these cards in the world. And this card is pretty valuable. Look at this thing. This is just a beginning bid for the same card on eBay at $279. That's the bid. And this is ungraded. Of course, in the sports car world, there's graded, there's ungraded. Ungraded, just raw out of the box. This thing is worth $300. So we're paying the bills one way or another. Since y'all won't send me no super chats, I'm having to do this shit. So you won't send super chats. Nobody uses my PayPal or Venmo links below to support the shows and everything I do. I still appreciate the likes, shares, and comments, but I'm just saying, I'm having to resort to gambling on freaking football cards to make a living. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, that's funny. But it paid off today. It paid off today. We had 300 on the Kenny Pickett card. And if I send it in to get it graded, we probably could get a little bit more. And look at that. We hit all day on our football bets. Free bets at this place. I'm going to get a description link and everything. And hold on. Can we invite friends here? But that was free bets. I did like it was like $10 bet, $365 for free dollars to bet. I got those. I won $300 the other day on the free bets, and then I won another $312 tonight on the free bet. So we're looking at about a $900 swing in the last few days. That's good. That right at the first of the month, the government is always paying in one way or another. No, I'm just playing. But can't wait to cash this one out. And of course, some of these. I wonder how can we invite guys? Hold on, let's see. I wonder. No, we can't. Not yet. I'll have to get a invite link. Because this place is really cool. I'm not going to show you who it is. I'm not going to show you. But anyway. That's what we're doing now. Welcome to pitching the hit for the Chaz. Ryan51 said it. Thank you. Yeah, all that card money. I have a little bit of money invested into it. I will say that $300, I mean, it could get me close to breaking even on how much. I'm about 300. But well, I'd say I'm closer to 400 invested in it. When the car thing didn't work out on the West Coast, I was like, I'm going to try to get some money, invest some money into other stuff that'll make money. Joe kind of showed me how the sports car thing works. So I was like, I went and researched it, and I'm like, okay, so there's actually a buy, sell, flip, pull kind of thing here. There's a business in these sports cards. There's some people out there who invest into sports cards instead of a 401k. Like there's a guy who literally has made a shirt that said that, and has used sports cards as an investment, and building stock. It's basically stocks, but they're actually cards, you know. But you know, I probably on eBay right now, out of all the cards I pulled, I probably have $500-$600 for sale right now on eBay between little $40 and $50 and $20 cards that I've acquired. Sorry, the drink. I saw somebody. The drink is making me burp a lot right now. The drink is 120 proof organic smoked whiskey from the Rock Filter Distillery, and we have mixed in a caffeine-free Diet Coke. So, dang, I almost want to, like I said, open the callers. Nobody has called yet. Let me see here on this app. I may be able to get y'all referred. Let's see here. Hold on just a second. I know everybody's wanting me to take the calls. Hold on. Did somebody call? It looks like it's showing me that I have a notification. No, no one has called. Oh. Here is the number 2 call if you want to call in. I actually took that Kenny Pickett card and listed it for sale. I'm going to do a 1-day sale on it. If it doesn't sell, then I'm going to go ahead and get it sent in and graded, because I think that card graded could potentially be a $15,000 to $1,500 card. So why not? Come on, Ding. I'm waiting for a ding of a caller. Where you at? Let's see here. Nothing for a referral. Oh, I think we got Clark calling back in. Hello. Hello, are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, is that how it's going to be now?
That's how it's going to be, Chaz, because obviously, everyone hides behind the keyboard, right?
I mean, apparently they don't even want to hide behind the keyboard. They won't even call in.
I can't believe Jimmy Davenport never called in. Talk about all of the sheep that he was counting.
I know. That is funny.
It is really funny.
Hold on.
So,
I'm trying to get
what do you
everybody
think-
this betting app referral. I mean, I made all this money. Now they want to make it with me,
Hey, why not?
Hold on. We'll put the information.
Is it Bet360? What did you use?
It's Bet365.
Bet365.
And so the promotion that they had was you deposited $5 or you bet 10 and you got a free $365 bet, or like in bets. So
In bets, yeah.
I mean, I didn't even, hold on. Oh, it's too long. Oh, I can't freaking put it or something. Let's see here. So apparently if anybody uses this link, they get an extra 50, and they gotta use that code that I just put in there, but they get that same offer that I got and the $50, I guess. I don't know how it works, but I know how it worked for me. I took that free 365, and of course when you're gambling, you're gonna lose a little bit. So I just made a couple of $25 bets and won on 3 of them, and then tonight I won on all or 2 of the 3 for that 300 that I got there.
You turn it into real money.
Yeah, you only can make money on the thing if you actually make money. Like you can't just cash the 300 out. You have to like win bets with it.
What's funny is they actually have limits on those apps, where you can only bet so much.
Yeah, it's true.
My cousin, who's a doctor, he actually has my other cousin have a separate account for him that's got some money in it. So he's kind of a degenerate gambler. It's kind of hilarious.
I mean, I guess me over here with my football cards and my Bet365 is a degenerate gambler, right?
Not really.
I mean, it's pretty close.
You're only a degenerate when you lose money.
Well,
when you're losing money after money after money after money, you gotta stop. If you're not winning, you gotta stop.
Oh, well, yeah. I've never been in that situation. I mean,
well, then you're fine.
Yeah, I would say in the gambling aspect, I mean, I would say I'm ahead by probably 2,000 to 5,000. Like if I thought about all the money I've spent gambling versus the losses and the wins, I'm probably ahead 2,000 to 5,000.
So talking about gambling, what's the real story around Michael Jordan selling his share in his basketball team? Was
What do you
that
mean
a
by that?
legitimate? Well, there's rumors that Michael Jordan is a pretty big gambler, right? And apparently he gambled and he lost, and the bet was so bad that apparently he had to sell his stake in the basketball team to pay the bet.
I heard that. Yeah, I've heard that speaking, I mean, not trying to hate on the guy, but Bloomquist apparently has the same issue. I've heard that his T-shirt rights, he had to give them up. He doesn't make money on his T-shirts. Heard.
Damn.
This is not confirmed, but apparently the lie of a story that I'm lying about, I'm just going to say that to cover my own ass, is he was at a casino and got in debt by about $60,000, and the guy with Arizona sports shirts or whatever got him out of it in exchange for T-shirt rights.
Damn.
That's the rumor lie.
Damn.
I'm going to say it's a rumor lie. I'll just say that's what I heard. That's what I heard happened to Ricky Thornton Jr., not Bloomquist. My bad.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to save your ass.
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr. did it.
Yeah. How much money has he won this year?
I don't know. I think
he's having one hell.
Go ahead.
He's having one hell of a cheater year, right? Or is that all something that Loomer would say?
Yeah. Hold on, we're pulling up the let's see, late models. I wish there was just like a earnings deal. I don't know what there is. I guess we'll have to go to dirttracker.com.
Did you see that during the broadcast they were pushing really hard for 50% off on all the All-Star merch?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I know it's the end of the year. But if they don't merge, it's going to be a shock. Let's be real.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks to Ryan for becoming a pitching the hit guy. It's $2 a month to be that guy. Thanks a lot, Ryan. Fuck all you who aren't Ryan. Sending super chats. And then to add on top of that, I'm saying this as I'm winning gambling money. Wow, what a douchebag I am. And while I'm pulling cards, turning 16 times the profit. But from my understanding, it's completely done. It's been done. The deal's already signed. They're just waiting on a timing to roll it out.
Well, I think they have to wait until the World of Outlaw Championship's over, right? And Brad Sweet's check clears, right? Because if Casey Kane Racing and Brad Sweet's check doesn't clear from World Racing Group, it's going to be really nasty.
But at the same time, that's not possible, right? Like, no matter what Brad Sweet does, contractually, they have to pay him what he's owed.
We haven't seen the contracts. If he does anything from, like, look at the NASCAR contracts, right? If it could be stated in the contract that if they as an organization do something to embarrass World Racing Group, they could forfeit their prize money. Don't think that those clauses are not there, Chaz.
I've heard. Well, that's why the drivers can't say they're running high limit and all this stuff.
Exactly. They can't promote anything outside of the 5 races that they can do.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but 2 major stars were not there tonight.
Who? Just curious. Who you think that is?
The top two in World of Outlaw points were not there. The top 2 drivers were not there.
Why weren't they? You know why, right? Because they chose Lernerville over Port Royal.
Exactly. But
I don't see a scenario in the world where Todd Queering in the 2-car goes high limit. I just don't see that happening.
If the money's right and they pay more money, and it's going to be better competition. Also the guy's got tracks, right? So he's obviously gonna do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just think that there's too much invested with Houston and Jackson being a dirt vision track, and at the end of the day, this is a streaming war in a way. So,
Who's got more money?
I mean, this is true. I'm sure
Flo-
Flo would like to be the
Flo's got-
official streamer of those tracks. I don't know if the dirt vision deals year to year.
Flow Sports is a $130 million a year company. Dirt Vision's $15 million. Who's
True.
got the bigger stick?
But who's got the bigger stick
And-
in dirt sprint car racing?
Real quick, it's going to be Flow Racing.
You think
Hands
so?
down. The broadcast that was a 5-hour broadcast, Chaz, and I didn't fall asleep. If that was a Dirt Vision one, I would have been asleep in an hour.
That is true. Why is that? Why is Flo just a little more entertaining? You think it's because they got
have more
content?
than one person talking. They have more than one person talking. They have more than 2 people talking. They sometimes have 3 and 4 people talking. Honestly, you know what makes me become a late model fan is not Kyle Larson. It's the Flow broadcast.
It's good.
Way better.
It's good.
Freaking amazing.
How they do it is how it
It
needs
is.
to be done. I told Brad that I would help him do that, but he's just not. There's haters, but whatever. Could you imagine a pre-race show with like me, Brian Walker, Walkipedia, and like Dirt Tracker? Could you imagine that pre-post halftime show?
That would be like the Fox Sports.
That's what it needs to go to. That's what the late model deal has.
If High Limit brings a little bit, I know that they're still putting everything together, and I feel that Flow Racing can only give High Limit their like C team for the broadcast just
Right.
for this year, right? But if they actually can do like a 55 race or 60 race schedule, and then allow the drivers to go do the Tuscarora and like all of these other big races, it's where they could do 70, 75 races a year, and they don't have to go chase 90 with the World of Outlaws. They guarantee like, 55, 60, and then they can go do the big money races. The industry is going to be healthier.
Well, I don't see a world where, because the Tuscarora 50 is an all-star race. I think that every single all-star race is going to end up being a High Limit affiliated race one way or another.
100%. But what makes the most sense, Chaz, is having like a 65 race season and actually getting 65 races in. How annoying is it that they book 90 events, but then, they're probably only going to do 70 this year, and they don't ever try and make up any of those 20 that they lost.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like imagine 2 rainouts happen at the same track, and they don't even try and make it up. You as a sprint car fan is going to say, F you, World of Outlaws. I'm not coming.
Well, here's what I want to do. I'm going to go to worldofoutlaws.com. And I'm doing this just because of our new supporter, Ryan, 51. This guy deserves, y'all need to follow this guy. I'm going to go to the driver's list of the late models, or the sprint car, sorry, because he had a good point. What driver is switching? What driver is going to go from the Outlaws to High Limit? Because I've heard, we're looking at the points now. I've heard that, obviously Brad Sweet's out. David Gravel, I don't think. Macedo, I don't think. I heard Selzy doesn't like what Brad does. I don't know if this for a fact. That's just hearsay. Donnie Schatz is a loyalist. Logan Schuhart and Bobby Allen, I think, fall under the same category of loyalists. Sheldon. But look, we just took, if you want to say the World of Outlaws has the best drivers in the world, we just went down the top 6. And I don't see anyone moving but Brad Sweet.
Hey, if you want to race against the best, you're going to go where they go.
Well, this is when you have to have this question. Who's better, Rico Abreu or Brad Sweet?
Brad Sweet.
Who's better, Rico Abreu or David Gravel?
David Gravel.
Macedo.
Macedo versus who?
Abreu.
Macedo.
Selzy. You have to say
that's
Rico, right?
That's a tie.
How is that a tie? The win column isn't lying over here, bud. The win column isn't lying. I mean, we're looking at what hell? Kofoid's got 3. Rico's got 6. Rico's got 6 wins on the year with the Outlaws.
In what? Right.
That's how many Macedo has.
How many races does Rico have?
How many races? Starts?
Yes.
He's only went to 41 races, won 6. Carson Macedo's went to 64 and won 6. Selzy, who we're comparing him to, has went to 64 and won once. Rico Abreu has more top 5s than Gio Selzy and has ran 20 less races.
Right. And guess what? You know what also helps when you run 20 less races? What do you have? You have less wear and tear on your car.
Well, no, he ain't done 20 less races. He's been racing every week. He just hasn't been with the Outlaws every week.
He's picking and choosing what he goes and races, Chaz.
How are you saying that when he's a full-time high-limit racer? I'm playing devil's advocate, but the devil's winning right now.
I understand that he's full-time right now, but
I'm gonna give Selzy to Rico. I'm gonna give that to Rico. I'm sorry. When it comes to Donnie Shots or Rico, I'm giving that to Rico as well. And the one that's even the closest one of the comparison is actually down here in 6 is Logan Schuchart or Rico. That's close. Even though the win column doesn't reflect, although he does have 6 wins. Schuchart, that's a silent 6 wins, by the way.
It is a very silent, but I would. Rico probably has one of the best programs outside of, the top 3, the top 4 in World of Outlaws. Like, he's got one hell of a program.
But regardless, who's going?
I bet you they're all going. They're just not saying anything until the check clears.
I guarantee you Macedo ain't going. Guarantee you Shots ain't going. Guarantee you I want to almost guarantee Schuchart. And I want to almost guarantee Gravel. I know Macedo ain't going. Or at least I know that team ain't going.
So we're going to have an IRL IndyCar split? For a year? 2 years?
That is the only way Steve Kinzer rates the Indy 500. You know that, right? It could be NASCAR's silent plan to keep NASCAR on top.
That will be one of the worst things for sprint car racing in 2024 if there's not one major series. Because
I don't
guess
know,
what?
But
you just had an A+ series become a B series, and then the C series over here just became a B+ series. Because you know what's going to happen? Who's going to pay more money? High Limit guaranteed is going to pay more money than World Racing
You
Group.
think so?
I guarantee you Flow Racing and Flow Sports will stick it to World Racing Group, because I guarantee you that at some point they probably approached them to acquire them, and they probably hit them with a very stupid number.
You think that's what's happened? Hold on. So you're telling me prior to this high limit deal is what it sounds like. You think that Flow Sports approached the World Racing Group to buy them out is what you're saying you think happened.
Well, is World Racing Group not for sale?
They are for sale. But you're saying at one point in time, Flo went and asked them, and they said 800 million or something instead of the 70 they want now, just to say fuck you. And you're saying that there's animosity from Flo.
Of course there'd be animosity. Of course. When somebody tells you something's for sale and it's only generating, you know, call it 20 million a year and you want 100, it's, you know, it's like, well, I can take the biggest name in NASCAR and do it without you guys, kind of scenario, right? And pay him X amount of money and he can go do it and do it probably better. And look what they're doing, Chaz. Look how fast a high limit race happens.
Yep.
That is if this keeps going in the right direction, Chaz, and this is what I'm saying is you're taking an A+ series of World of Outlaws. It's gone from an A+ with what I'm seeing with high limit. It's become a C to a B, and World of Outlaws has gone from an A+ down to a B+ right now, and they're going to get down to a B real fast because they just don't have their shit together. Look, they just lost their freaking race director to high limit. Why? He obviously sees the writing on the wall.
Or he was offered some money. He was offered
Sometimes
more money.
people can see the. Well, yeah, maybe he was offered minimum wage, right?
So we got some more questions in here, comments. Rico is better than Gio. It's not even up for debate. Rico would be top 5 in points if he was running full-time with the Outlaws.
That's not hard.
Chaz, what does a merger with the All-Stars and High Limit Series look like in your mind? If either of you actually looked at the facts, Rico would be second in Outlaw points this year. Why don't you actually do some research? So I guess we're supposed to research a fantasy reality. I guess hold on. We're supposed to research what? A fantasized reality of a projected result. We're looking at the actual results of the actual year. His name's fucking Ernest. Well, Ernest needs to go to school again. Anyway.
That was a great movie.
It was.
That's like me saying that the year that David Gravel did did those truck races and missed an outlaw race, he would have won the championship.
Right.
And Brad Sweet would not be 4 in a row.
Right.
Right? It's stupid.
Do you think David Gravel will ever win a championship, or is it just one of those deals that, you know, it's a Dell Senior deal at Daytona? 20 years of trying.
No, I think he can easily win a championship. I don't think easy, but I think that yes, he can win a championship, Chaz. But you have to have the right people around you for a long time, and you got to go through all of those growing pains. You know, when was the last time Brad Sweet had a DNF?
You know,
right? Like when was the last time he actually had a mechanical problem?
You're making a damn good point, but what this guy just said, Jordan, is scary, could be potentially true. Gravel is a lot like Saldana was to Shots. Joey Saldana was badass, but there was always one guy who beat him. I don't think Joey Saldana ever won a championship, did he?
You'd have to look that up. We'd have to do our research so that guy doesn't yell at us through his keyboard.
Let's look up aliens. Series champions and rookie of the years. Here's the list of World of Outlaw series champions and rookie of the years.
Saldana won one championship, did he not?
Saldana was the rookie of the year in '96.
Yes.
And Joey Saldana never won a championship. Now look how long David's been around. 10 years. 2013 rookie. Darren Pittman won the championship that year. I thought Darren Pittman won 2 championships, but I guess it was just one and done.
Yeah, well, the competition got a little bit harder, right? He had all that NASCAR money, that Budweiser Red Bull money or whatever it was back in the day. So they had the best of the best shit. Let's be honest.
Look at that.
When all that NASCAR money was flooding in.
2003 rookie Jason Sides. 2005 Shane Stewart. Where the hell's Brian Ellenberger? 2009. Where's Ben Gregg? 2010 World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year. Have you ever even heard of Ben Gregg? Who is Ben Gregg?
So, who knows? But here's my thing, Chaz. If they want more than 10 cars to do the entire season, they can't make it a 90 race schedule. It's got to be 65, 70. And if their car owners have a little bit more money, they can go do some of these other big paying races. But making it 90 races handcuffs the teams massively. And I think that guaranteed money can be made up with high limit and flow racing. Hands down.
The guaranteed money is going to make the difference. Oh, that Big Greg guy, he was that, I don't know if you remember the car, the Chronic Energy car. It was a really pretty race car. I got it up on the screen, but I do remember this car and trailer. God, think about that. 2 years later, David Gravel wins the Rookie of the Year from this guy. And who is he, guy, in today's world? This Ben Gregg. Who's Ben Gregg? We don't even know who he is. This is a guy who was a Rookie of the Year. Wow. Is this another one of those things that Joe was talking about? Like there was some, obviously this was the energy drink era. Everybody was making one. Ginseng's obviously a very lucrative drug, those who have studied it. Was there some money laundering in this team? Kind of like the Jason, he was saying Jason Myers had the money issue, and that's why he left the World of Outlaws, not because of wanting to get back with family, but because of the issues with his car owner. Is this another one of those schemes, Clark?
It could be.
You know, that happens. You know, what was that famous Formula One team, or was it an IMSA or Trans Am team? Who was it that did that? Was running drugs on some kind of boat.
Oh, that's, I know who you're talking about.
It was over in France and shit, and they were running like drugs across the Mediterranean Sea for the Italian mob.
No. You're thinking of, what's the guy's name in Florida?
Oh, yeah, Florida. Oh. But he was going to the UK, I think, on a boat, wasn't he?
No. He was in, one time, yes. I think he did do a boat in Europe, yes. A drug run in Europe, yes. Oh, what's the guy's name? He's an Asian guy, or half Asian. What's his name? Oh, what's his name?
Trying to look him up. Los Muchachos? No. Cocaine Cowboys, the Kings of Miami. Apparently this dude was involved in it somehow. Hold on, this
Randy something. Randy, what's his name? Randy.
I'll tell you what, this AI deal on the Bing chat is pretty cool. So who was the guy who raced and ran drugs on a boat? Is that the right way to say it? Let's see if this guy answers it.
Randy Lanier.
Oh, speedboat racers. It's confusing. Who is Randy Lanier?
This Randy Lanier, he raced. He
drug trafficking. It's reading it to us right now. So this thing's pretty cool. You type whatever you want to learn. It tells you. It says Randy Lanier is a former professional race car driver and convicted drug trafficker from the United States.
Smuggler.
He is best known for his racing efforts in the mid-1980s, including winning the 1984 IMSA Camel GT title. Wow. For the wholly independent Blue Thunder racing team. However, he was arrested for smuggling marijuana or for marijuana smuggling in 1988, dyslexia, to support his racing efforts and was sentenced to life without parole. Lanier was one of the biggest cannabis brokers in American history, having shipped some 600,000 pounds of marijuana into the U.S. ports via speedboats. I told you, speedboats.
Yeah.
And barges. He was released from prison in 2014 and is now a brand ambassador for a medical marijuana company and plans to continue racing with them as a sponsor. Oh my God. Full circle, bro. This is the Cheech and Chong of motorsports. Wow. So he got life without parole in 88 and then is released from prison and is now a brand ambassador for a medical marijuana company that now sponsors his new racing efforts. Wow. In 2023.
Yeah, everybody should watch the Netflix documentary on Randy Lanier. It's friggin' amazing.
What's it called?
Let me pull it up here.
So now this guy's a coach, apparently. Did you see the Netflix documentary on the Tony Stewart thing?
What do you mean the Tony Stewart thing?
Well, you know that guy who kicks ass at Weedsport, that 01 car, that Danny Barron?
I do not know. Fill me in.
Well, he almost won against the Outlaws this year in the sprint car. He's a New York sprint car racer.
Oh, hey, it's called on Netflix, guys. It's called Bad Sport, and then it's the second episode called Need for Weed.
I've seen that promo on the screensaver of Netflix. I guess they have, when you don't watch anything, it just flashes stuff.
Yeah.
And didn't Dale Jr. have this guy on, or did he talk about him? Who was the one that Dale Jr. had on his show?
Yeah, he had him on the Dale Jr. download. Yeah, he did.
Okay, because there was another one too that was a drug runner for somebody that he had on there.
There's I think the Cocaine Cowboys. I think they were also powerboat racers. They were in Florida too.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about, the Ben Greggs and all these IRS people and all that, I mean, a pretty good cover if you wanted to stuff your tires with cocaine or fentanyl and put it in the trailer and, go and transport a lot of weight, as they call it, a race car team would be a good cover for that type of operation. Clark.
Do you have any idea how easy it is to get across the border?
I'm just saying, if you're in California racing with the Outlaws and you have a due to pay to the people who you pay dues to, and you need to make a shipment from California to Pennsylvania, one side of the country to the other, or wherever, a race car hauler is a real good cover. That's all I'm saying. They open the back door with the drug dogs, and they're, why is he going crazy? Oh, we got this simple green, That's all he's smelling. A bunch of chemicals under that rear end, Bunch of chemicals.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna pop the bead. You think they're gonna pop a bead? I'm saying, you pop the bead, you fill the tires up with fentanyl and cocaine, and you mount the sumbitches, and you put them on the car and roll it in. You stuff the tires.
Does that really help growing the sport of racing?
I'm just saying, anything for $1.
Hey.
You thought I was going to all these races and driving across the country 200,000 miles in 2019 because I like to go to races? You thought that's what I was doing? I can't admit stuff
Did I
right
hit
now.
a soft spot?
I can't
Did I
admit
hit a
this.
soft spot? Did you get triggered? Did you trigger yourself?
No. No.
No. All right, who's gonna win tomorrow when the big boys show up? Is Kyle Larson gonna race, or is he gonna, go get some driving lessons so that he can turn left and right? If he doesn't make the round of 8 cut, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hold on. What's this 428 guy? Myers car owner Craig Luck in prison. Google GLR investments. He's saying that Myers' sponsor, the agency today, sought court approval to add charges against some guys. Why would they be? Why would they be adding charges while he's in prison? Anyway, back to your question. This could be the rabbit hole right here. We need to stop the rabbit hole from growing. Oh my God. This is getting too deep. Danny Varon, back to what I was saying. Danny Varon's a World of Outlaw or a sprint car driver. Really good partners, I guess you could say, with Kevin Ward Jr. And so a bunch of the locals up there did not just drop the whole situation like the rest of the country did. And they made a documentary about all the evidence. I mean, this stuff is behind the scenes. I mean, they show a bunch of stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Documentary at? Where's this documentary at? Is it on YouTube? Where's it at?
I want to say it's actually on Amazon. Yep, it's on Amazon. It was released last year.
What's it called?
This is new. It's called The Hit, an investigative documentary. And it's all about this Kevin Ward Jr. deal. Once again, 2022 is when it came out.
Oh, the Kevin Ward.
Yeah. I did see the hypocrisy when people were like, oh, you shouldn't get out of the car, when literally people cheered Tony Stewart getting out of the car and clinging to the side of a vehicle with Kenny Irwin Jr. at Martinsville. But yeah, they got...
that also wasn't that wasn't at night, though.
I don't want to hear the excuses. My opinion has always been, it's kind of like racing in general. All these guys want to go up when the cushion's right next to the wall. They want to go in there as hard as they can and get as close as they can to the wall. And most of the time, they make laps, and sometimes they hit the wall, and they flip and destroy the race cars and potentially hurt themselves. They didn't mean to do that, but they're trying to be on that edge. And when you're trying to get really close to something and not hit it, sometimes you accidentally do. My opinion would be of that. My opinion would be that Tony Stewart wanted to scare the guy really bad, get the fuck away, and went to go onto the cushion next to the wall and hit the wall. That's what I see. That's what I thought. That's what I think a lot of people believe. But yeah, this is the show, The Hit, an investigative documentary. It's really good. I think I'm pretty sure I watched it all. I can't remember. It was late at night, but they go into all the trajectories. They got a bunch of behind the scenes courtrooms. You see testimonies. You see a bunch of different stuff in this documentary. I don't know how much it's it says the video is currently unavailable to watch in your location. What's up with that? Huh. Is there something up with that? Why would that not be available to watch? That don't make no sense to me. Maybe they got onto him and said, hey, you got to take that down. You know? I heard there was hush money involved. I don't know.
It was probably handled privately. Who knows?
Who knows? You're right. What else did you want to talk about? Did you have a question for me? I thought you did. I kept rambling there. I'm sorry. I've had a few
Is
sips
Kyle
of this
Larson going to make the
120
cut?
proof. What'd you say? Sorry.
Is Kyle Larson going to make the cut on Sunday?
You're talking about NASCAR now.
I can talk whatever you want.
What
Who do you
is
think's gonna win?
the driver's list? Is there any specials?
I think,
Is there any SVGs?
No, not till next year. Oh, wait.
I feel like
is
that
he
plan is
actually
going to get
on?
canceled personally.
Why? Because Justin Marks doesn't have the money?
No, just because he didn't do shit at Indianapolis. He looked normal. He didn't set the world on fire. Notable NASCAR Cup entries. Really nobody. Andy Lally, Zane Smith, Mike Rockenfeller's
Andy
pretty good.
Lally.
J.J. Yaley, Austin Hill. Where is the Project 91 for this race? Why is it Kimi Räikkönen or something coming?
Kimmy's not coming back.
Why?
Why would he?
To beat the Americans.
At a temporary.
That's why everybody does it. They want to beat us.
At a temporary shitty track. I don't think so.
It is true. It is a shitty track.
It's a farce.
All right. Is there any way I can go pee and come back?
Yeah.
You got to talk to these people in the comment section. Where is Borset? I thought Borset was racing, or is that Xfinity?
He's doing the Xfinity race with in the 17 Hendrick car.
That's right. All right, I'm gonna go pee. You better stay on the line.
I'll stay on the line.
All right, y'all better stay.
Rockefeller.
I'm gonna go get more
Coke. What do you think of Rockefeller?
Not more Coke as far as like cocaine, but my name is not. Never mind. I ain't gonna say.
Yeah, Boris said it's going to be in the 17 car with HendrickCars.com since he's business partners with Rick Hendrick on like a Chevrolet dealership somewhere in America. There are a couple dealerships. That's another thing. If you guys actually want to know, if you guys see K1 Speed, you guys see the K1 Speed go-karting places. Boris said's actually an investor in that. That's how he's also helped make a lot of his money between the dealerships that he owns with Rick Hendrick, but also the K1 Speed facilities is owned also by Boris said and his conglomerate. There you go. Boris said has a BMW dealership in the Bay Area. There you go. He's probably got more than just a BMW dealership. Rockefeller's a sports car driver. He's won Le Mans. I think he's won the 24 Hours of Daytona. He's at the end of his career. Rockefeller was in the Project 56, Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet deal with Button and Jimmy Johnson. So the only reason he's kind of got that gig is because he's good friends with, he's become good friends in the Chevrolet camp. And I think Rockefeller's in a Chevrolet. I think Rockefeller's in the Rick Ware Racing Chevrolet, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, he's in the, is the 42 still Legacy?
Yeah, but isn't Hosafar in that car?
It says number 42, Mike Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah, the 42's a Chevrolet. Oh, okay. Who owns Legacy? Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, yeah.
And who's Jimmy Johnson good friends with? Mike Rockefeller.
And it's funny you brought up K1 karting.
Oh God.
But you have an issue with K1 fire and safety?
Well, you see how thin Brownie's suit is? Kyle Larson's suit? Did you notice
Yeah.
that Kyle Larson wasn't wearing K1 underwear underneath his suit? He was
What do you
wearing
mean? He wasn't
Alpine
wearing
Stars.
K1 underneath. So?
No, he was wearing Alpine Stars because he needs a little bit more safety.
What do you mean a little bit more safety? These guys are at safety.
Quality products. No, you want to wear a safe suit? Go buy a Simpson suit. Why do all of those NHRA drivers? Who was the godfather of fireproof suits? It was Bill Simpson. Why would you mess around and try and make things cheaper?
Because people are poor.
Yeah, people are poor when they're putting a $60,000 360 motor in. Yeah, they're real poor.
But K1 is what Kyle races now, so every little kid's gonna buy K1 because they want to be like him.
Hey, same thing with Air Jordans. That's the game of marketing. That's the game. If you feed into it, there's a sucker born every minute, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Sucker born every minute. Boris or Ron Fellows, great driving coaches. Certain drivers would be smart to use their resources. 42 Eliminator, 100%. Why?
Do you think that Kyle Larson needs their help?
I think Kyle needs a voice of reason around him. Who knows if he actually has a spotter that actually, just tells him what he wants to hear, or obviously he's not a spotter that tells him what he needs to hear, because he doesn't have probably one of the best spotters in the industry, because he's still making stupid rookie mistakes. 7 DNFs this year. Oh, Jordan, K1 has a bad reputation in the karting scene on the West Coast. Jordan, you are 100% correct on that. Are you talking about, Jordan, are you talking about the new K1 Speed go-kart track that they built out, the outdoor facility? Yeah, 428. Yeah, Kyle used Ron Fellows early in his career. Yeah, probably just to train him on road courses. But what I'm saying is Kyle needs more of a, Jeff Gordon's more of a business guy now. He's not one to actually maybe sit down and review video and actually kind of go through things with them. He's more of a high-level CEO type now, because he's going to be taking over Hendrick Motorsports, right? So he's kind of flipped the switch.
You think so? You really think so? That Jeff Gordon isn't a good enough coach?
To be a coach, you got to eliminate the ego.
You're saying he just don't care?
Why would he care? He's rich as fuck.
Yeah, but he has a role every day at Hendrick, right? I mean,
yeah, by title, yeah. Who's Jeff Gordon helping out become the next driver coming up the ranks? Who's he guiding in the Chevrolet program?
Well, I think his guy always had been Larson. So I think that since he's done Larson, you're not going to get anyone to. He's not really trying. He's living his life almost through Larson in a way. That's what I would say.
Yeah, as long as they're winning, he's your boy, right? So, but yeah, I guess you could say that he's living through him a little bit, because Kyle's doing the Indy 500 and he never had the balls to do it, or was crazy enough to do it. As calm as Kyle might be, he might be freaking nuts.
What do you mean?
To be that good, you gotta have a screw loose when you put that helmet on.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like actual mental issues.
Oh, no. Kyle Larson's my favorite driver.
Well,
Hands
yeah, but
down.
do you,
So,
you could still have mental issues and be your favorite driver, right?
yeah, of course.
Okay. I just checking.
Hendrick, that's who Byron was sponsored by. Gordon? No. William Byron was sponsored by his dad.
Yeah.
If you guys look at the university sponsorship, that is his father donating money to the university, and the university is putting their logo on the car.
Yeah. It's true.
William Byron grew up next door to Rick Hendrick. So you tell me how Jeff Gordon was paying for or sponsored William Byron.
Yeah. And they like to say he came from sim racing, but it was a little bit more than that. Do you think the best racers are in sim racing?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of them trying to cross over that have actually.
Most of the time, and I even experienced this. I did sim racing back in the day. That's how me and Kyle and Chris Bell and Kevin Swindell and even Ricky Thornton Jr. and a few other guys. That's how we knew one another. Was back at we kind of raced our factor together. And I was really good at me. Even Chase Briscoe, me and Chase Briscoe are on first name basis. He always joked, called me the Steve Kinzer of online racing because I used to kick everyone's ass. But the only reason I did sim racing was because I couldn't afford a real race car. You know, so I think the reason you don't see crossovers is because all the sim racers are all the poor people. You know, and the only reason I say you think the best racers are in sim racing is because it is the only place where merit, you know, takes over and makes the difference. The only thing making a difference between one guy and another outside the setup is everything. It's like horsepower, everything. But fixed setup races are over there all the time. But the only difference between one guy and another is literally what you do with the steering wheel and pedal. Like, you can't buy mechanical advantages over there like you can out here in the real racing world. So the playing field's very even in sim racing.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing is you got to have that natural. You can be the best at sim racing, but not have that natural ability to feel what a race car.
My first time in a real race car, I went 0.2 faster than the track champion. First try.
Again,
in front of 10,000 people.
You said are all sim racers better?
Well, I think sim racing could judge talent for sure. For instance, like even how I just said it, like Chris Bell, Larson, me, Ricky Thornton, they could beat me, I could beat them. Chase Briscoe, however, is a lap car. You know, he never had no speed in the sim racing. That kind of every person I've witnessed in real life that I have sim racing history with, how they did in the sim racing, like how they stacked up in the sim racing world, is very similar to how they stack up in the actual world. Like Chase Briscoe's only in NASCAR because of the certain connections. His dad, Kevin Briscoe, and USAC history obviously helped him probably a lot get into that situation. He did do it the hard way, ARCA, sleeping on couches, test driver, all this shit. But I'm just saying, he got there not really because he set the world on fire with talent. But when he got there, he's running about how he did in the sim race, average guy. Whereas Bell, Larson, Ricky Thornton Jr., these guys I experienced up at the front, Logan Seavey, another guy that's really up front that I raced against, they're all up front in the real world. So I do think it's a really good way to judge the ceiling on a guy.
Yeah. The only way to know for sure is to have more of them being able to cross over, right? That's the only way to really know.
And it's a money thing. So they'll never have the money to do that. And what actual logical car owner is going to put a sim racer in their car? Hell, it took me going around the country for 3 years, building a following and all this stuff to even race real race cars. I mean, I did it. That wasn't necessarily the go to start, but when it happened, you know, I felt like I was up to speed faster than the average foe because of the experience I had had. But I got lucky to be put in real race cars. You know, I got lucky, even though some of them were shitty. First one fell apart. You know, I mean, I almost won my third race in, but regardless, I'm just saying, a guy who I got a shot from being a personality online. I didn't get a shot because I was a sim racer. I had sim racing in my background like 10 years ago. I don't think any logical car owner is ever going to put a top performing sim racer into. Now, we've seen Alex Bergeron get a shot, kinda, but it does take a little bit of time. I would say the biggest difference, and maybe some sim racers are watching this, and I will tell you, from being, you know, if you ask Chase Briscoe, I was back in the day a top level sim racer. The biggest thing you got to get used to ain't really the feel. The feel makes it easier, to be honest. There's 3 things in a real race car that don't happen on a video game. One thing that happens is the impairment of your vision. And I think fans need to recognize this when they're making judgments on calls. People think I get on here and I'm judgmental or something and don't know what I'm talking about. I've been in every position of the racing world you could be in, first of all. I've been a manager, I've been an announcer, I've been a track assistant promoter or whatever you want to call it, running things, getting things going, marketing. I've been on crews. I've worked on cars throughout the week. I've been the driver too. I've been on the track. The biggest difference, number one, is impairment of vision. You cannot fucking see out there, guys. You can't. I mean, it is, well, I could see a little bit, but when I went to New York and I raced the big block modified and we came up at turn number 2 at Dust Cloudville Outlaw Speedway in Dundee, New York, I think it is. I came down the back straightaway, mid-pack, and I didn't know where I was. I couldn't see the car in front of me. And it's like my 6th race ever in a real race car. And I couldn't see where anyone was at all. And I remember it so vividly because I floored it into the corner, not knowing where anyone was. I knew where the track kind of was. It was my first time to the track, but I at least ran hot laps and ran a heat race. But I floored it into the corner wide ass open, and there's a 40-foot drop off to the side, and I can't see anything. Now, Outlaw Speedway in Dundee, New York is known for having horrible track conditions. It's Dust Cloudville. The All-Stars go there every now and then, and you really don't see cars. You just see clouds about 10 laps in. But you can't see out there. When you equate the tear-offs destroy your vision in a way. And I had the easy stacks, so they were stacked by 10. You need easy stacks. I would not do the single pulls. And then when how light reflects and then into the shield, and then also how bad dust is, at least in New York for sure. I didn't really experience it much in the micro and the IMCA car, but vision is the number one thing. And then second is fear. I would say second is fear. Now, I never really experienced it. I think when you get into a race car, you accept that you could die today. So before you pull out, and I don't think a lot of these people do. I though, however, accept reality. When I pull out onto the racetrack or I strap into a race car, I basically signed a death lease. If I die today, that's what I signed up for. But some of these people don't think that way. So for one of these sim racers or somebody to get into a real fucking race car, I'm telling you right now, when you're heading down that back straightaway into turn 3 and you can't see the edge of the track and there's a 20-foot drop, if you're scared, you ain't going to make it. And you have to be literally willing. I think you have to be willingly ready to die to race cars. I don't think you can pull off the moves that you need to succeed if you're worried about dying. Because there's some scary shit that happens out there. And then,
well, racing's a game of what?
Luck.
Game of fucking chicken, Chaz.
Luck. Yes.
Chicken.
Well, who controls the people?
And what do you mean who controls the people? I'm saying, well, okay, now we're going in a different direction. Oh, here, let's
I
answer
call
some
it luck.
chats. Look.
I call it luck.
Okay. Yes, luck definitely has something to do with it, but you also got to put yourself in the position to get luck, right? Hey,
Let me get on to the
Eliminator.
3-1. Hold on. The third one, and we'll move on very quickly.
What's the third?
The third one, I forgot it. You're right. It's over. No, I was gonna say the third one's kind of the mechanical situation where when you're in a controlled environment in your sim racing sim or whatever, whereas when you're in a race car, there is no controlled environment. You go up to pull a fucking tear off and the shit don't pull, and you got to go up and do it again, and or your feet's fucking moving around on the gas and the brake and shit like that. You know, it ain't just when you're sim racing, everything's controlled. You know, you have your little drink off to the side. You know, you pop a gummy or
You can
something.
hit the restart button.
Yeah, well, the restart button's real, but I feel like sim racers are smarter behind the wheel. I do not think that any racer should get into a car, or any of these kids or rich dads and all. You shouldn't even be thinking about putting your unexperienced driver or yourself unexperienced driver, if you're going to go buy a race car. You should be able to run iRacing and sim racing all day long prior to getting into a real race car. I think it's a great training tool. Similar to a flight simulator. You shouldn't be going out into outer space in a rocket ship unless you pass the flight simulator first. You know, it'll save you a lot of fucking money. But yeah, I think that controlled environment is a big difference. Now, what were you about to say there for a second?
So, just a couple questions in the chat that never got answered.
Okay.
Is Stuart Haas Racing gone in 2 years, yes or no? I would say no, since they didn't sell any of their charters, which was what was rumored with 2311 going to Ford. And that was some of the numbers that were being floated, you know, $40, $50 million for a charter.
Who put
The
that
last
chat
place
up?
charter sold for $40 million. 428 Eliminator. This is a little further up.
Oh, I was looking for.
And then,
I was looking for TSR.
and then, oh yeah, and then for sure, F1 drivers run sims. NASCAR drivers have talked about it. It can't teach you 100%, but it can give you a decent, not good, but a decent idea.
Well, but the NASCAR simulators are like $60,000. They're not the same. They're not even iRacing.
More.
Yeah,
They're
it's a real sim. They set the cars up. That's how they practice now.
Well, they scan the track, and then they also use those wheel force cars as well for simulation, right?
Right.
So there's so much they can do, like, you know, the whole Ross Chastain thing, right? The thing at Martinsville, where he rode the wall.
No.
Remember the guy who rode the wall?
But what do you mean? Yeah, I know when he rode the wall, but
they tested that in the sim. They knew it would work.
No.
They did. They tested it in the sim.
No.
Why the fuck did he grab fifth gear like it was nothing? He knew. The guy who runs the Chevrolet sim program tests crazy shit all the time in the sim when the drivers are not there. And he tested it, and the only driver he told was Ross Chastain, that if you're out, last corner, last lap, boom, pull fifth gear and full throttle. Stewart is looking to cash out. I think he's making pretty good money right now, guys, to be honest. I think he's
You
got
think
enough
he's making money?
manufacturer. He's racing, he's going to be racing Top Fuel probably next year because Dodge is paying for it. Dodge loves him.
Dodge? Well, that's
He's
because of
making
the
bank.
NHRA deal, right?
Yeah, because Dodge chose to not go back to NASCAR, so guess what they're taking with all of that money? They bought the NHRA teams for Hagen and his wife. They bought those turnkey right from the other owner. Boop, now it's TSR.
Wow.
Turnkey.
Wow.
You think Tony paid that? No. Manufacturer paid it.
Wow. Well, but Tony, no offense to Tony, I don't know if he'd care how I'm going to lay this out. Tony's a little bit of a hoe, ain't he? When it comes to manufacturers. I remember with the USAC deal, he was Mopar one year, Team Chevy the next. Now he's Ford. I don't know. I just felt like he was just switching to whoever gave him. Yeah, gave him. That's why I called him a hoe. What's a hoe do? A hoe goes where the pimp gives the money.
But then every single person in racing's a hoe.
Yes, a bunch of hoes. That's what I've been trying to say.
Everyone. There's 36 of them in NASCAR. 100%.
Joe wanted me to come out to California. He threw me a few bucks to buy the plane ticket. I'm a hoe.
We all are.
We are all hoes.
What's your price?
We're slaves to the money.
Your price?
Slaves to the money.
Exactly.
We do have,
of course,
some breaking news. Oh, wow. Hold on. Oh, my God.
What?
Clark, you might want to turn on the screen. The saga has continued. The deception. I can't believe it. They put the tampon patch on the wing. But and not only did they try to cover up that fallacy of bending the sideboard in for a competitive advantage, but look what they tried to cover up here. This was just sent to me.
What is it?
On a chat, and it is a zoomed in picture of the left wrist of Kyle Larson from tonight's events. And you can see it looks like a watch.
Yeah.
It looks like a watch. Wow. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Wow, another picture right here just sent over. And that's a watch. It's there still. It's there. The watch is still on Kyle Larson's wrist. Why does he continue to disrespect the rule book? Although this is All Stars, does All Stars have a rule against smart watches?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the rule.
And then the secondary question is does he only have this covered up because he knows I'm watching? That's the other thing. It's like you saw where Brad and him responded, right?
What do you mean?
Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson, when me and Joe did our deal about his watch, our video, they did a talk show about the Lernerville race coming up, and they brought it up, the whole watch situation.
Oh, really?
On Flow, on his little high limit room show. Yeah, they responded to the Chaz and Joe's video about the watch. Weren't you the one that told me that there was outlaw teams that actually conveyed a message about this, or?
I think was it last year at the World 100? Did they not they went to the drivers before they were rolling out, and they pulled watches off guys?
Yeah. This is a real thing. And like I said, the way you cheat with these watches, you don't have to. People think you got to look at them and read them. You don't have to. These watches have a vibration. Just like your phone, you can put it on sound or vibration or silent. That's exactly how these watches operate. And when you put it on vibration and you strap it to your blood vessels, that's why it's a heart rate monitor, because it's on the vessels of your heartbeat. It's able to tell things. You feel the vibration every time it goes off, and you can turn that vibration up a lot. And so if you are technically trying to scheme to send signals to a driver, all you have to do is tell them, all right, and you can do this more elaborately, but for an example, you just say, hey, if the groove's on the bottom, we're only going to send one message. So that would mean it only would vibrate once. If the groove's up top, we're going to send you multiple messages over and over in a row. So where it vibrates 2 or 3 or 4 times in a row. And that would signal the driver, if you're out there driving and you feel one vibration and nothing after that, you just start running low. And then if you keep going and then all of a sudden you feel it going off consecutively, you just switch lines. You could even do it if you time it correctly and you have it all set up. You can also teach the driver which lane's faster, top or bottom. So there's so many ways that this watch can be an advantage.
Either they allow it for everybody or they just stop it.
Right. And that was my point. I don't think Kyle Larson needs a damn watch on his wrist to win a race. He don't need no damn signaling. But why would you even put yourself out there to try to project yourself as better than everybody else? And you don't have to play by the rules. That's what it shows. That's what it says. You know, to me.
That's not what it says to you. It's what it could say to a lot of people, right?
That's what it should mean. You know. That's what it should mean, you know? I mean...
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. How do we not know that when he got out of the car that they didn't just hand him his watch? We don't know.
I don't know, man. Why is it under a cuff?
Because...
Why is it under a cuff? If that's the case.
Because, like I said, K1 suits are absolutely garbage. And, you know, it's... Honestly, unless somebody physically saw him get out of the race car and you could see the watch on his hand, then I will call Kyle Larson and I'll call him an idiot. But until somebody, you know, pulls him out of victory lane as he's getting out of the car saying, "Show me your wrists," then I'm not gonna throw anything.
Do you think anyone's ever going to do that? That's not ever going to happen.
Chaz, when they get out of their cup car, what's the first 2 things that are handed to them?
A hat?
Their watch, their hat, and maybe a drink.
Well, apparently Kyle wears this in the cup race all the time, so that's not an issue. But we ain't worried about two-way communication in NASCAR because they have spotters and crew chiefs.
Hey, the rule, technically the rule in the rule book, is it not one-way communication?
I don't know. You tell me.
We got to pull out the rule book, but
it says no smartwatches, period.
In the
this is a
All-Star
registered smartwatch. I don't know about All-Stars. That was the other question. Does the All-Stars have that as a rule? That would be the bigger question here. Although, is the All-Star Circuit of Champion website even work anymore, or has it been converted? Oh!
You know what?
The SSL has not been... Oh! I do websites, by the way. If anybody needs one, let me know.
Yeah.
The website has not had its SSL renewed. It is a non-secure website.
Correct.
That means it was not renewed. So All-Star Circuit of Champions is allstarsprint.com. Doesn't have an SSL, a security. And that means this site's going away. That's what, at least with a little bit of an assumption, that's what that would mean, is that this site's no longer going to be around. They didn't renew the security license. Wow. Discovery's here.
Is High Limit secured?
What is the site on that? HighLimitRacing.com?
I couldn't tell you.
It should be HighLimitRacing.com. Yes, it is HighLimitRacing.com, and yes, it is secured. And there's the difference. Connection is secure. The site has a valid certificate issued by a trusted authority, whereas the All-Star Circuit of Champions does not.
Does not.
Interesting. Might just be a fitness tracker. Oh, yeah, let the fucking excuses to let them do it and not play by the rules. Just say whatever you have to say to let it be all right. I'm trying to see where the rules are at. Doesn't really matter. I was more, talking about why have it covered up if it doesn't have anything to do with it.
He's out of the car. You got if somebody
Mr.
sent that
Excuse
to
in the
me and
building.
he was in the car. No, there's no excuse. If he was sitting in the car and I saw that, I would be pissed.
Right.
But because he's not in the car, I'm not gonna say shit.
Okay.
Hey, and I'm the one that's saying that Kyle Larson's probably gonna miss the cut in the chase. So
You think he's not going to make the top 8? Seriously.
dude, if things keep going the way that they've been going on the Cup side, I'm worried.
How about their schedule, though?
What, the 2024 schedule?
It's out, ain't it? This is it right here.
They're going to be going to
All
Iowa,
that really changed
baby.
is Iowa, right?
I haven't even looked at the schedule, to be honest. I'm not one of those
Iowa's
guys that
on
hops in the
there.
schedule.
The Chicago Street Race is
Well,
on there.
There's a 3-week Olympic break, which is BS. Who gives
The
a shit
3-week
about the
Olympic
Olympics?
break. Where do you see this? Where's a 3-week Olympic
2024
break?
schedule. 2024 schedule.
When is the Olympics?
Isn't it in August?
I mean,
July,
they race
August?
August 11th, 18th, 24th. I guess they take the 1 week off. Or 2 weeks off because July 21st is the last race. So, last week of July, first week of August. It looks like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Could be 3. Let's see here.
They're not going to Montreal, Canada, which is BS. They should go to Montreal, Canada. They're not going.
But that was something with the government, right?
No. Well, unless NASCAR wants a handout from the government, then yes. But the facility's all ready to go.
It looks like they swapped the Roval around, or they did.
Oh yeah, it's no longer. They're not going to do the Roval. Are they going to do the regular?
No, they
Charlotte?
do. They do the Roval in the round of 12. It's the same thing. Kansas replaces Texas in the fall.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, fucking. I don't know how they destroyed that track, but they sure as fuck did, man.
Well, and also So did you hear that they took they went and tested at Richmond and they took all the underwings off the car to try and take downforce from underneath the car off. And I don't know if it was Christopher Bell or somebody they tested, and they said they took stuff off the car and it did not make a difference.
Really?
They took downforce off from underneath the car and it did not make a difference.
Wow.
And it's funny because when they were at the test, the NASCAR people, they're like, we put this piece on and it did this and it was so much better. And then one of the NASCAR drivers is either Christopher Bell or Christopher Buescher, and they said it did nothing different.
Okay, so
And
before we get out of here, this will
thinking,
be the last topic. That is crazy that it made no fucking difference. That's just stupid. You think it would.
This car is garbage.
Who is going to get Larson's 15 to the good and he's in 7th? So are you saying he's gonna wreck early?
It's possible because
It is the Roval. Stupid shit happens there.
So much stupid shit. Kevin Harvick was eliminated from there last year.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Last year was the big Ryan Preece, Chase Briscoe deal, right?
Mm-hmm. You could easily get caught up in someone else's mess.
Yeah, Larson got eliminated in this race last year. That's right, because Briscoe and Preece were pulling bullshit, blocking, giving spots. I think Larson lost by 1 or 2 points because of it. I was on his side in that. I'm on his side most of the time in NASCAR topics. But.
Yeah, no, he does a lot of good for the dirt world. We just need it to be better for everybody, not just
man.
One
It would drive it would drive the racists insane if Bubba Wallace can go up in there and be the guy who knocks Kyle off. Oh my God, they would lose their fucking white hoods. Oh, it would be hilarious.
You mean the Democrats, right?
No, just the racist right wingers who are, it would blow their minds. For some of these guys, Kyle Larson isn't a dirt guy. He's just the guy who said the N-word. And since they say it all the time, they look at him as like a representative. And then those same people definitely don't like Bubba Wallace. So this is like the Clinton-Trump battle for them.
Well, so they can't hate all of Bubba. They can only hate half of them, I guess.
Out of everything that is said, that was the most racist. It was.
Yeah, pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Wow, I can't believe you just said that. Well, we lost viewers, guys. We lost viewers talking about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is next. You fucks. All right, it looks like people are getting out of here. It is midnight. Is it 1 o'clock where you're at?
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
All right. Well, I guess we should get out of here.
Later.
All righty.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And for Ryan51 joining the membership live tonight, $2 a month. I'm a $2 holla type of person this evening. We may go live tomorrow. We may go live Saturday. Main event, post-race action. I don't know. I hear the weather's going to be questionable for Port Royal the rest of the weekend. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like the video, comment below, share it around. And as always, join the membership and maybe subscribe. Catch you next time.